Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents. A little while back, I asked you guys on the community tab of my YouTube channel, what do you think is the greatest aquatic fragrance of all time? Because here in the US, we are in the throes of summer, at least as of when I'm filming this video, and it's freaking hot outside. And what could be better than a nice, refreshing aquatic fragrance? And you guys hit me with your answers and upvoted other people's answers. And today we're going over 10 of the biggest vote getters, the best answers for aquatic fragrances. If you want to take a look at all the answers that were given, it's still on the community tab, so feel free to peruse through there and find a bunch of other fragrances that I don't have time to mention in today's video. All of these are linked in the description. Feel free to check them out down there. And my fragrance, Blue Ridge. It's not really an aquatic fragrance, but it's nice and fresh and sweet. This one you can find at every Perfumania and every fragrance outlet in the United States. So if you have one of those nearby, feel free to go inside and give this a sniff. And if you like it and you'd rather buy it online, it's also linked below, and you can use the code GENTS for 20% off your order. That's for anything on Michael Malul's website. Let's do it. Let's see what you guys got for us. We're gonna start off with just something embarrassing. This fragrance that I'm about to show you was the #1 vote-getting fragrance by a huge margin. So many people listed this as the best aquatic fragrance right now, upvoted other people's comments where they were saying, this is the best, this is the one that you have to get. Just basically, it ran away with it. If you wanna know the #1, it was this fragrance. So why is that embarrassing? I don't own it. Yeah, my aquatic game. It's embarrassing. What am I doing? No, I'm just playing. But I will have to buy it. This one comes to us from Melg Mills. But as I said, a lot of people had this one as their #1 aquatic. For sure, Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum 2022. I don't have it. What a scent! You get the marine aqua vibe right away, but it's so much more with a soft leather note that doesn't come off too animalic, some earthiness, a bit of smoke, and I even get a bit of a berry-like fruit vibe in the opening. This is an elegant, multifaceted aquatic with tons of versatility. So here it is, Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum 2022. Look at that. It's on both sides, man. It's so good. Wow, I just love it. There you go. There's your #1. I don't own it. Okay, on to the next one. Up next, we have one from Cod Claude 191. It's a great name, Cod Claude. Although some may say the seaweed note smells bad, I find the original Bulgari Aqua Porom to be the most reminiscent of smelling like the ocean. Or no, being into the ocean, he says, being into the ocean. Let's give it a spray, let's see. Whoa, so oceanic, bro. It is a classic though, Bulgari Aqua Porom. You can't go wrong with that. I mean, as you said, some people are not gonna dig it. They're going to rebel against that seaweediness, but I like it. I like it, it's a good choice. And then I do wanna say, honorable mention, Aqua Marine, also by Bulgari in the same line. That one got a good amount of love also. Bulgari Aqua and Aqua Marine. Interestingly, I didn't see Aqua Amara quite as much, even though that one definitely got more hype than Aqua and Aqua Marine over the years. Great choice. Then we have one from a former Celtics fan. Oh, what did they do to you? What did the Boston Celtics do? They're very sad. They're very sad that you are a former fan. They say the Trusty Dusty Dylan Blue. The Trusty Dusty? They say it's slightly aquatic, slightly sweet, with an incense dry down. It's a reliable, cheap, everyday fragrance that fits all seasons and all occasions. So some people are not gonna consider Dylan Blue here a true aquatic. It's a blue fragrance, but it does have aquatic notes, and I guess if that's what you're going off, that it has to have some note that is aquatic in nature, whether it's water notes, aquatic notes, sea salt, seaweed, driftwood, something. I guess driftwood doesn't really count, aquatic does it. But if you have something in that vein, in that style, then you can technically say, you know, it's kind of aquatic. And as you said, Dylan Blue doesn't cost too much, really versatile, easy to wear. A great jack of all trades, Swiss Army knife type of scent. Up next, we have one from Nixgan or Nixgan 6444, who says there's really only Acqua di Gio Profondo that comes to mind. Just realized that although I have a bit more than 100 fragrances, very few are aquatic. Guess I love my sweet and heavy ones. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. And to be fair, for a lot of people, especially people that collect fragrances, aquatics can come across a bit boring. So if you have, you know, just a few of them, for a lot of people, that'll be enough. And also, honorable mention to Aqua di Gio in general. There are a lot of Aqua di Gios mentioned, the original, Profundo, Profumo, the new Parfum. So you could think of it as just Aqua di Gio, basically. Some iteration, whatever your favorite iteration of Aqua di Gio is. Which for me is Profundo, so I agree with you here. Really nice green, modern take on Aqua di Gio, not quite as heavy on those florals, bit of minerality to it, really nice aquatic. Then we have one from Kevin073 who says, my favorite is probably Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum. I swear, like the first 3 or 4 top comments when I went to look at this were all Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum when I went to make this video. I was just like, oh, great. But yeah, Kenzo Homme Eau de Parfum, and then he goes on to say honorable mentions to Michael Malol's Ocean Noir, Nishane Ege, and Aqua di Gio Parfum. Aqua di Gio, it's everywhere, baby. Now, of course, I am biased because I've creatively directed fragrances for Michael Malol. But Ocean Noir is one of my favorite fragrances from Michael Malol, outside of the ones that I've done. It's an extremely appealing aquatic fragrance with a very nice tropical edge to it. So it has sea notes, it's got tonka, tangelo, and coconut as some of the notes in the fragrance, which gives it an interesting vibe. It's that mixture of freshness and sweetness that works very well in pulling compliments. So Ocean Noir, this one I do enjoy very much. Like I said, one of my favorites from Michael Malol. And Nishane Ege I have tried, I do not own it. And it's been a little while since I've smelled it. So I can't really say one way or the other on that. I remember I thought it was okay. That's my bad. I can't own everything on earth, man. Obviously, I don't have Kenzo Homme. Then we have one from Jacob Miguela1423 who says, I bought Polo Deep Blue Parfum about 1 year ago. And it's my most complimented fragrance since then. Even my girlfriend, which is not much into fragrances and barely comments on them, always compliments me when I wear it. Certified compliment beast, there you go. Your girlfriend doesn't like fragrances. That's weird, man. Polo Blue has always been kind of an interesting line to me because I don't really like the Eau de Toilette all that much, the one that kicked it off. I respect it because it's a very successful fragrance, and you have to always respect that if enough people like the thing, then obviously it did what it set out to do, even if it doesn't work for me. But a lot of the flankers I do enjoy, and this one is a nice one. It has mango in there. It's got a lot of green notes, kind of an aromatic edge to the scent profile, ambroxan, and of course aquatic notes. And interestingly enough, it has drawn comparisons to Aqua di Gio Profundo. Yeah, it's like Ralph Lauren's version of the Aqua di Gio or something. It's like Profundo's on here twice, which technically they both came out in 2020. So who copied who? Nobody copied anybody. They just smell a little similar. Then we got an interesting choice from Germaine Martinez DT5B0. These new YouTube names are great. Zoologist Seahorse. Kind of matches my shirt. Awesome aquatic that stands out from the crowd and is not on the extreme end of zoologist releases. Definitely does stand out from the crowd. It does its own thing. And as you said, it is not on the extreme end of zoologist releases, so it doesn't come across extremely animalic or unwearable, difficult to pull off. And yet it still does have a bit of that artistic edge that you would expect from zoologist fragrances. Very pleasant, very pleasing, easy wearing, easy going. A little bit of a creaminess, sweetness mixing together with aquatic notes, almost like a sea foam, but a stylized sea foam, like fairy tale sea foam, right? It doesn't have that prickliness, it doesn't have that off-puttingness, that bitterness. Then it has a nice little bit of an aromatic flair as it dries down, but it stays very wearable. And even though it is wearable, I mean, it is going to be, for a lot of people, obviously more difficult to pull off than these fragrances here, but it certainly is doing its own thing much more than any of these are, which is not a slight toward these fragrances down on this end of the table. It's just, it's a different type of scent. But Seahorse, love that choice. Semi-Smooth Criminal 976 says, I love Creed Arolfa. I I like it. Semi-smooth criminal. You're not quite there. You can't do like the full Michael Jackson lean in the music video. You just kind of, you lean over a little bit, lose your balance, and stumble forward. You're trying. I know it's not the most hyped from the brand, but for me, it's a perfect hot weather aquatic fragrance. You are correct, it is not the most hyped from the brand. It's not even the most hyped summertime fragrance from the brand. I would say Millesime Imperial is talked about more than this one. Aventus Cologne, Viking Cologne, if you consider those more of summertime scents. Really, those are close to year round, aren't they? Even Silver Mountain Water, Green Irish Tweed, all of those do get more love than Arolfa, but Arolfa is, as you said, a solid fragrance. And it is overlooked as well. It's these old Creed fire hose atomizers. Anybody else out there? I prefer this style. The caps that did not click. Nowadays, they ruined it. They ruined it. One thing I will say about Arolfa, extremely classy. Such a classy aquatic fragrance. Another one that has a bit of an aromatic flair to it. Grown up through and through, you know, you're not being bombarded with sweetness here. That sort of sparkly Creed ambergris you can pick up right away. Lovely scent. Nathan Wilbur, 783, he gave us two. He says, maybe I'm going against the tide. Get it? The tide! Aquatic fragrance. Dude, you're so fun. Dad puns. But I love Louis Vuitton Afternoon Swim and Maison Francis Kurkdjian, if I can put it forward here, Aqua Celestia Cologne Forte. Nice colors on those two. Oh, good. Yeah, looking nice. Both of these really good choices. So Afternoon Swim, I gotta say, when I first got it in, I was not a huge fan. I actually thought that the citrus came across a little bit off. It just didn't smell very pleasant to me. It doesn't have great performance either, but I can overlook that because, you know, fragrances in the middle of summer, I probably don't want something crazy strong, want something refreshing. Oof, but it smells great to me now. I don't know what changed, but after a few wearings, I really came around to enjoying that one. Ooh, yeah, that's nice. Ooh, it's like a little rindy, slightly tart, very fresh, juicy. Yeah, that is awesome. I have no clue why I thought it sucked so hard when I first got it. This one, Aqua Celestia Cologne Forte, it's Francis Kurkdjian. I mean, you kind of know what you're in for. It's clean, sort of a fresh laundry vibe going on. Yes, a little bit of an aquatic freshness there as well. It really just depends on how much you enjoy Francis Kurkdjian's fragrances of this style released through Maison Francis Kurkdjian, because there are a lot of fragrances that you can kind of lump together where you're like, okay, he's doing what he knows here. And for some people, they just love it. Like, give me all of it, all of that. And then other people will smell it and go, dude, how many times are you gonna make a fragrance in this style? I don't mind it. I actually think it is a very pleasant, easygoing scent, but at the same time, it's kind of like half and half. So there is part of me that is kind of over it at the same time. Before we do the last one, some more honorable mentions, some fragrances that came up a bunch. Light blue, Dolce & Gabbana, a bunch of different light blues. Cool water, a bunch of cool waters. So the original Cool Water Intense, those popped up a few times. Missoni Wave, that one was mentioned a few times. Sailing Day from Maison Martin Margiela. And then probably the fragrance that was mentioned the most, that is not in this official top 10, if you want to call it that, Ordo Parisi Megamare. That one was mentioned a number of times. So again, you can check on the community tab, read through there, and see a lot of the other ones that didn't make it here, because a lot of those are fantastic scents. Last one is from Caden Robertson 5566, Versace Pour Homme. Yeah, Versace again. It's still my go-to. I personally enjoy it maybe more than most people when it comes to aquatics. I don't know if I'd say that. A lot of people enjoy this fragrance. It's easy wearing, easy going, clean, fresh. It's what you expect from an aquatic fragrance. Similar to Chanel Allure Homme Sport, similar to Missoni Wave. Quite affordable, still sells very well. People love the stuff. And a lot of Versace fragrances are quite fresh and clean. Dylan Blue here. You've got Versace Pour Homme, Versace Mano Fraiche. All of those fragrances would realistically work in this list. And this one is a fragrance that I myself enjoy a lot. It's one that I wore consistently for a long time. And even if it's not like the loudest fragrance out there, it is one of those fragrances that you don't have to worry about a bit. You can spray it on pretty heavy and nobody's gonna complain. So there we go. Technically a little bit more than 10, but 10 of your favorite aquatics ever. Thank you guys for hanging with me. There should be another question up on the community tab of the YouTube channel. I change it out every so often. So if you want to be featured in a future video, go on there, leave a comment, upvote other people's comments. Thanks for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.